It's Friday, March 28th, 2031, following our playoff loss to the Toronto Blue Jays in 2 games in the Wild Card Series. The A's are back to try and get to the playoffs once again after reaching that point for the first time in 10 years. So, we lost a lot. We lost quite a bit. I don't know now, with the way the schedule's set up, I don't know if I can see the moves. No, I can't. That upsets me. Well, anyways. Can I look through here? No. This sucks. Alright, well, anyways. We can look up some of the guys. Or actually, this is a better way to do it. Let me go to here. Positional starters. So, go to Lawrence Butler first because he didn't start the whole year. He's with the New York Yankees now. He signed a 2-year deal, $13.2 per year. He's an average left fielder. The Yankees went on a spending spree this offseason. This guy, Luis Corona, I tried to claim on waivers, but they picked him up, and now they're starting him in center field. They traded for Endy Rodriguez, traded for Pasquantino, traded for Jordan Westberg. So they still have Aaron Judge. They wanted to trade him. He can't play the field anymore. They're going to put him in right field. I don't know why. They signed Roansy Contreras, and they're ready to go here. They signed Isaiah Campbell as well to a big deal. What did they go last year? 64-98. Yeah, so it's time to get moving. Finally had a record below 500 in 2029 for the first time since, I believe, 1994? Yeah, no, 1992. So, the Yankees, pillage the A's as they normally do. Denzel Clark is a Houston Astro, which does break my heart. He goes for a 6-year deal worth nearly $100 million. I love Denzel Clark. He's the last player on our team that was there from the start and not a player that I acquired. You can see he's spent his entire career with us. He came up for the first time with us. Finally had his best season in his free agent year, and he's gone to a division rival, which stinks, but we have to move on. We can't afford that kind of contract. Nasim Nunez is now on the Texas Rangers. He got hurt in spring training, it seems, after killing it. I'll keep tabs on him. I'm interested to see what he does after we got rid of him. We still have all these guys, Bobby Hunter. I believe there's one more pitcher that we had to let go. TJ Brock's back. Frasso. Hunter Brown goes to the Kansas City Royals. I did not offer him the qualifying offer. I offered it to Contreras and Clark. They both denied it, so we got 2 supplemental first-round picks. I knew Hunter Brown was probably going to sign for less than he would like, and I didn't really want to have him on a $19 million contract. Really, I didn't know he went for this cheap. I would have signed him for $7 million, but the market was really dry. You can see the additions we made. We lost a lot of talent and didn't pick up too much. I traded for Yuri Perez, who just won the Gold Glove with the Yankees. Not a great season for him, though. He's a free agent after the year. But the year prior, in 2029, he was spectacular, 3.30 ERA, but that seems to be the career high for him. We'll see if he can do something similar with us. We needed a starting pitcher. He's only 27, remember, because in real life he came up at age 20 with the Marlins. Gurindo Gonzalez back. Brasseur is in the starting rotation. Johan Oviedo, who has pitched for us before in the big leagues, is back. He was in AAA all of last season. He comes on the minor league salary. Had a really good year in AAA, but we needed a starter. Yovani Moran is the other pitcher addition. He's a lefty. He's now in our closer role. He only wanted $1.8 million, but he's a 60 overall. Obviously, the control's an issue. He's a flamethrower, though. I guess not 93, 95, but the stuff's so good with this 75-grade changeup. Recently played for the Cubs, most recently played for the Cubs, but he's in Minnesota's organization right now. TJ Brock is back. Reggie Crawford makes the opening day roster, as does Brandon Hughes, who was in arbitration with us. He's back. Joey Estes makes the opening day roster. He may start some this year. Frasso keeps sticking around. Carlos Rodriguez is not in the rotation, but he probably will be soon enough. And Cody Funderburk back as well for year number 7 with us as we enter year number 8 in the series. On offense, let's look at the additions we made. There are not many. Jeremy Rodriguez is not an addition in the strictest sense. He spent all year in AAA last season. We picked him up in minor league free agency. He was most recently in the Mets organization. He had a short call-up period at the beginning of the year in 18 games and was bad and did not really succeed in AAA, but you could see how he was hitting in spring training, and he's a left-handed third baseman. Bobby Hunter's defensive ratings went down some, so I was a bit worried about keeping him in as the everyday third baseman. He's going to DH a lot more, and Rodriguez breaks camp with us. The rest of the team, McFarland's back, Duno's back, Gabriel Martinez sticks around. Chase Young, Manuel Pena, Austin Charles, Jeremy Rodriguez, Bobby Hunter, Tak Kung Soo, who is Taiwanese, and I speak Mandarin Chinese, but that is a different dialect. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. But he's got 80 infield range, so the double play is not great. That's why he's only a 65 grade shortstop, but he hit fine in spring training, and I think he's a better option offensively than El Baladejo. He can actually hit the ball. But if he struggles, El Baladejo is ready to come up, and he's only on the minimum, has 3 options left. He was an auto-generated free agent. Braden Montgomery, after his cool-off to end the year, breaks camp again. We had a bad spring training hitting-wise. I need Max Clark to hit his weight as a really good center fielder, maybe not as good as Denzel Clark, with the range a tick lower, but a better bat, I think, overall. Well, on paper. We'll see if it comes through. But all I need him to be is a league average hitter, and he couldn't really do that in 300 plate appearances. But he'll still be a positive WAR player, I think. So there's him. There's Drew Jones to be our righty. Hit well in spring training after a great year in AAA. Short audition in the majors. This will be his first chance at a major league opportunity for a full season at age 27. And Connor Griffin, we're really excited to see him. He's our best player, finally coming into his own. For the rest of the organization, Chase DeLauder is a guy waiting in the wings as a lefty outfielder. Jonathan Jordan down there as well in AAA. I picked up Ethan Villa on waivers from the Boston Red Sox. I think he's got a promising skill set as a lefty outfielder as well. Ismael Oyala at 22 has a shot to be called up, as does Grady Emerson, now age 23. I need to see him a bit more in AAA, but he could come up and play shortstop. Why are you unhappy, dude? This is the track you're supposed to be on. You have not excelled in the minor leagues. It's your fault, not mine. Jacob Wilson is back. He was under team control for one more season. He's actually taken a hit ratings-wise, but good depth to have. And then Aaron Bracco down in AAA as well. His ratings have dipped, and he was very bad in spring training. You can see the pitching. Zhong Sha is a guy that we brought in from Taiwan. Jake Bennett as well. Joe Little starts the season in AAA. He needs a bit more seasoning, in my opinion, and he had options to go down. Josh Range now on the AAA or on the 40-man roster, a 2026 fifth-round pick out of high school, makes it to AAA and will probably get a shot in the big leagues at some point. Chris Broom is in AAA for us. He was our second-round pick. Was the MVP of the whatever draft league this is, the MLB draft league, was the MVP of that league, I believe. Silver Slugger in center field and their most valuable player award. He should be ready in a few years, but this, I had him in the development lab. The development lab was successful this time around. If I could go find what we had. Here we go. So Zach LaValle, our first-round pick last year, I improved his plate discipline, outstanding. Chris Broom, outstanding plate discipline improvement. No quality of contact improvement for Grady Emerson. A successful secondary pitch improvement for Joe Little. Outstanding two-strike approach improvement for Connor Griffin. Needed those strikeouts to come down after a full season at around 29%. And Alfredo Duno, no improvement in quality of contact. I wanted to fill out that whole bar, but those are the 6 guys I sent in. And we had some good improvement. Broom is one of those guys. Chris Sinclair, now Rule 5 eligible. We'll see if he makes it up with the big league club. He has some holes in his game. Hee-Chan Kim. We're still waiting for that second wave of prospects. Cole Mathis down there in AAA as well. A lot of them are stalling at AA, taking a couple hits. Most of these guys are going to end up being bench bats or average major league starters at best, which is unfortunate. We have yet to have a real superstar come up through the minor leagues. Joe Little was supposed to be that guy, but his ratings took a dip, and his control didn't improve much more beyond 45. Connor Griffin's really the guy. He's our superstar that we've drafted. And that's about it right now. The disappointing thing is that we're probably going to take a step back this season. We are supposed to be last in the division, but 79 and 83. The Angels seem to have some great pitchers coming up. Floyd Sarazin was a first overall pick, and Juan Morales was a generated Cuban free agent signing. So the Angels are looking good. Maybe not the offense. Haig Faircloth, 6th-round pick in 2027. Got Zach Neto at third base. This is a good team. Cutter Crawford, former A. And then the Astros obviously signing Clark. They have Vladdy Jr., Dalton Rushing now, Strider, Cavalli. They bring in Mitch Spence after we trade him to Tampa Bay, and he doesn't really succeed there. Bo Brisky, they got a good bullpen too. So we have some teams to contend with. Obviously the Rangers, they won the division last season, and the Mariners trying to come back into the picture. Julio Rodriguez, maybe not the franchise-altering superstar that they hope he would be. He's about a 4 to 5 WAR player, but not, Jason Dominguez, the way he's playing in this simulation. So we've got some competition, but we can get through it. In the National League, the Reds and the Mets are the best in show. Nobody else projected over 90 wins. Anybody interesting on here? Ronald Acuna Jr., I boosted his defensive ratings. I was tired of seeing him as a negative defender at first base. But he's still fantastic. We had an opportunity to trade for Logan Webb. Didn't pull the trigger because he's wrecked. And I think that's really it. Robbie Snelling, what's he doing? Everybody's fragile in this game. Henry Bolte is still on the trading block from Pittsburgh. Did not have a good season for them. We've looked at decision history, so I don't think I'm going to look here. I'm going to look at our short lists that we have that I haven't really touched in a while. Draft board's clear. I can make some changes on this short list. But there's really nobody over the age of 21 that I'm super duper excited about. Maybe Ayala. But he's not like it's Ayala and Broom right now are the impact guys. TJ Venable could be good. And then the rest of these guys are super young. Josh Mallard needs to pick it up. He's now the number 70 prospect in baseball. Former prospects, have we been bitten on anyone? No, on Alan Smith. Ben Allen, we traded Bobby Hunter straight up for him, and he has not advanced past high A. Brett Harris was a while ago. He's 32 years old. I let him go to the White Sox or something. No, he's a Rule 5 draft pick and actually, did some decent things in Chicago on the south side. I've kept my eye on him. Tink Hence was a guy we got rid of and has had a decent career. Bishop Letson, the fans were very disappointed that we let him go, but he was out of options. Was a free agent. The Brewers picked him back up. They actually drafted him in 2024, 2023. So he's a real Brewers prospect right now. Chandler Simpson, in real life, has a really interesting skill set, as you can see. He hits for high average, doesn't strike out, and steals a bunch of bases. Can't play much defense. He's been a menace in the independent leagues and has had some time in the majors, but to no great effect. Angelos retires. He gets 4 games in the major leagues. And Jesus Rivera, who we traded for Chase Davis, which would have been a great trade if we hung on to Chase Davis, as well as Maxwell Muncy, who has also been a good guy in the independent leagues. Some of the prospects we've given up. And our award winners, Huascar Ynoa goes to the Dodgers on a contract that was too big for my liking. Bolte we talked about. Clark, Funderburk still around. Montgomery. Garrett Clevenger had a rough year in Chicago with the Cubs. Signs a one-year deal with the Dodgers as well. Mitch Keller, who we had for a season and was very good for us, is now in his second year in Colorado. A FIP over 5, and I don't think he's going to do much better. Or third year in Colorado, excuse me. An ERA over 6 last season for him. Lodolo we had for a year as well. He's been fine with Philadelphia, now with Toronto. Ryan McMahon had that Gold Glove season or the All-Star season with the Angels after we let him go. Bernardino retired a long time ago. Jorge Marcheco is now a starting pitcher after, I believe, signing. We waived him, and the Cubs. He became a free agent. The Cubs signed him, didn't put him on their 40-man roster. The Pirates drafted him in the Rule 5 draft, a former All-Star, and they're going to start him for a few games. I don't think he's that good. Newcomb has retired. Varsho has retired. Trace Bright, who was our Rule 5 draft pick, became an All-Star in his only extended time in the major leagues, threw his arm out, missed a whole season, came back with the Rays, and was terrible in 29 and a third innings. One of the weirdest All-Stars of all time, and that's the guy that wraps up that list. Chase Davis, obviously the roughest player, or the roughest move we've made was to give him up. Joe Boyle has stuck around, bounced around. Had a good year here in Boston. Emerson Hancock back with the Rockies. Soderstrom still with the Mets. Poor spring training. Suzak still with the Orioles after scratching out a poor season and a half season of plate appearances. Brian Buelvis still with the Phillies. A very good quad A player. They have him at first base now for some reason. Anthony Maldonado we had for a long time. Very bad season in Toronto. Goes to the White Sox and excels, but then is traded back to Toronto. So we'll see what happens for him. Matt Mervis, finally a free agent, and nobody wants him. That's understandable, given that the only positive playing time that he had in the major leagues was with us. He had a negative 2.1 WAR with the Cubs, a negative 1.4 with the Cardinals, but we got 3.5 wins out of him. Mason Miller with the Mets now. So 4 teams in 4 years now. 3 different teams over the last 3 years. He's wrecked. Doesn't look great for him. Nunez. J.P. Sears has stuck around as well. A good season with the White Sox. And Shea Langoliers has been in Korea over the past few seasons. Very good in Korea. Interesting. Paul Blackburn retired. So those are our guys. That's what the season looks like with the number 24 system in baseball. I'll be back. Depending on how the season goes, either at the deadline or at the draft. I want to kind of get through these last 3 seasons just because it's been a long series so far and we have limited success. And I want to get at least some of these prospects up as soon as possible. So thanks for watching. Bye.